All sorts of statements are now possible following Liverpool's win over Manchester City. Welcome to the Overreaction segment to start our week. You must be happy, Stevie, after the weekend?
Absolutely, why wouldn't I be?
Oh, I don't know. It's quite a good result, wasn't it? Liverpool, because of that result, are now Premier League champions. Is that an overreaction?
Were they presented with the trophy after the game?
No.
No. And I wonder why. Because they're not Premier League champions yet. Listen, in everybody's eyes, it's theirs to throw away. But they're not Premier League champions. So 100%, this is a complete and utter overreaction. Football's a crazy game. Strange things can happen. Now, for me, the only problem that may cause them not to win the league would be a horrendous injury list. But you know what? At the end of the day, the question was, are they champions? And the answer is
no. So the answer is yes.
Yes.
Overreaction. We've got to keep a close eye on this, which one we're going to select.
Yeah.
Manchester City won't finish second. Now, I can only assume that because they're fourth now, this means that they will finish lower than second. It doesn't mean that they'll win the league.
So before the Liverpool City game at the weekend, it was all about who's going to win. Is it going to be City? Or is it going to be Liverpool? And I'm talking about who's going to win the Premier League. This has been a so-called two-horse race since the start of the season. And because they won one game, people are now saying, oh, he might not finish second. I mean, again, a complete and utter overreaction. If Manchester City step on the field in the Premier League against any other team in the league, the favourites, would that be correct?
Maybe. Next weekend they play Chelsea. Interesting one.
Oh, so a Chelsea favourite?
Not next weekend, sorry. Well, I don't know. I guess not. No, you're saying no.
Yeah, of course they are. Man City are favourites against any other team apart from Liverpool. So why can you turn around and say that they're not going to finish second? That's a complete and utter overreaction. So take yourself over here.
All right. This is Ronaldo's last top-flight season.
Seriously. The guy's been on fire forever. And all of a sudden, because of his age,
yeah,
he's not 100% fit.
Right.
Subbed
off in the last two games.
Yeah, in my opinion, because of injury. Listen, you're not taking Cristiano Ronaldo off after 53 minutes unless he's injured, right? Mm-hmm. So it's just a natural thing that happens to everybody. When the clock keeps ticking, eventually you pick up injuries. And right now, in my opinion, he's picked up an injury. That doesn't mean that he's going to be finished at the end of the year. I mean, this is a guy who's been playing for what? 15 seasons, is it, at the highest level, and been absolutely incredible. But yet, he gets one little niggle, and all of a sudden, we call it the knackers yard? I don't think so.
All right.
Complete and utter overreaction.
Messi is the best free kick taker in history.
Right, it's a total overreaction because it's impossible to gauge throughout the years. Listen, I remember Rivellino in the 70s bending the ball. Now, the difference between the ball that Rivellino used and the ball that Messi's using is a world apart. You know, it was far harder back in the 70s to bend the ball than it ever is now. I mean, you go into the 80s with Maradona. Are you telling me that Messi's a bit... And it's harsh to say that I'm not going to go at Messi, but the reason it's impossible to say who's the best ever is because you're talking about different times, different rules, and particularly the biggest thing, a different ball. Yep. The balls they use today fly everywhere, and most importantly, go quicker. So, as great as Messi is, you can't turn around and say he's the best free kick taker ever. No. Again, overreaction.
Love it. Love it. Dispelling the myths here.
So,
on the ESPN FC. We're finishing off with Bayern. Once again, Bundesliga favourites. They've now beaten Bundesliga hopefuls, Borussia Dortmund now. I think it's thrashing them 5 times in a row at home in the league.
Could somebody tell me when Bayern weren't favourites for the Bundesliga? So it's not an overreaction at all. From the start of every season, for as long as I can remember, they have been favourites. They were favourites at the start of this season. Yes, they haven't been at their best, but it doesn't mean that we don't look at them as, you know what, everybody says the same thing. Yeah, they might be going through a tough point, but you know what, coming the end of the year, You know they're going to win it.
All right, so I guess we'll put that over here, even though the suggestion of this is that they weren't favourites. You're saying they always were favourites.
Of course they were.
Exactly.
Of course they were.
Join us in May for the conclusion of that one. We have egg on our faces.
Well, thank you very much for watching ESPN on YouTube. For more sports highlights and analysis, be sure to download the ESPN app. And for live streaming, premium content, and let's not forget as well, ESPN FC 7 days a week. Subscribe to ESPN+.